A semifinal action from Channel 4's live coverage this afternoon. Lakewood with the edge over Thomas Jefferson for a spot in the championship game. Slick field conditions kept both offenses in low gear. It wasn't until here in the quarter that Lakewood in the white broke the scoreless tie, with Gary Vigil doing the honors. Later in the period, Thomas Jefferson looked on as the Tigers added 3 more on the Doug King field goal. That would be the winner. The Spartans' fourth quarter score off the keeper by Oscar Cedeos wasn't enough. Lakewood will play Cherry Creek for the state title. The Bruins in the dark jumped on Denver East early. Quarterback Tim Hooper setting up their second score with the keeper. 4 plays later, as they began the second quarter, Dan Weber took it in and Creek advances 35-15. And the 3A ranks are also set for next weekend's championship battle. As expected, top-ranked Grand Junction and number 2 Loveland will fight for that title. For the Ranum Raiders in the dark, the 85 Dream season is over. Loveland's Dave Serio shutting down the aerial threat with this interception, and that defensive effort led to a Wayne Potter touchdown and a 27-18 lead. The Indians continued to pour it on and win 41-18. Grand Junction in the white grabbed the other championship spot with this afternoon's win over Skyline. The Tigers grabbed a 14-0 lead late in the first half on this Bill Musgrave-Judd Laverne connection. Top-ranked Grand Junction is state championship bound. Now we get into today's championship play and the most exciting game of the day. Battle Mountain and Roaring Fork playing for the 2A title. Roaring Fork in the dark, and it's Jeff Bukanko with his 3rd touchdown of the game. The Rams led at 21-14 late in the 4th quarter. But with under a minute remaining, the Huskies of Battle Mountain answered back. Jeff Campbell here making the reception in the end zone. They were within 1 point. Now a point after would tie it up. A successful 2-point conversion would win it, but when the Huskies' 2-point bid failed, they finished state runners-up, and Roaring Fork is your 2A champion tonight. You take a look at the final score, the 1-point edge for Roaring Fork, 21-20 over Battle Mountain. And
the Ranum Raiders coming in today's game with a record of 10-1. Only defeat coming just a few short weeks ago. Loveland Indians 11-0, of course, on the season. A couple of different matchups. First of all, Ranum totally a running team, accumulating over 3,000 yards on the ground while passing for just a little over 700. On the other hand, the man you're going to look to a great deal this afternoon will be, of course, Dave McClune, the all-purpose back for the Loveland Indians. Some of the starting players that you'll see for Loveland will include, of course, in the backfield, Dave McClune, number 12. Jim Rodriguez will also be in the ball game. Wayne Potter will be the up man. Quarterback will be Travis Brown, as is usually the case. Rich Nomanson, one of his wide receivers in the ball game. And with such a cold afternoon, you might anticipate a great deal of the offensive plays staying on the ground. And as we mentioned, both teams are pretty much ground-oriented teams. Ranum did win the coin flip, so they'll be receiving this afternoon. As we mentioned, a cold. The wind is coming in out of the north, but it's been maybe decreasing a little bit. Good turnout for both sides. Loveland Indians have plenty of fans backing them up. One of the men we'll be watching will be James Herrera for Ranum. Big offensive back as far as his production all season long. Also back there helping him out will be Brian Monterano. Quarterback for the Ranum Raiders is going to be number 11, Bob DiLeonardo. Just about ready for the opening kickoff. Again, semifinal action between the 11-0 Loveland Indians and the 10-1 Ranum Raiders. And here we go. Opening kickoff is going to be a short one, fielded by one of the up men at the 30-yard line. He takes a hit immediately after getting out over the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So the Raiders will take over from their own 37, opening possession of the ball game. Running down the starting lineup, as we mentioned, at quarterback, Bob DiLeonardo will be the starter. He's number 11, a senior, 5'9", 160 pounds. James Herrera in the backfield, along with Brian Monterano. A lot of snow along the sidelines, but the field, despite being very hard, obviously frozen, is in pretty good field position, or condition, I should say. Opening play is going to be handoff to the big man. That's going to be Monterano. Carrying over the right side for a short gain out to about the 40-yard line. Pickup of just a couple. Brings up a 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders. Just underway, opening quarter, District 50 Stadium in Westminster, Colorado. Semifinal action between Loveland and Ranum. Monterano's 6'3", 195, so quite a difference from Herrera, who's just 5'8" and 160. Back to pass. Quarterback looking over the middle, incomplete. Intended receiver on the play was number 10, Dave Dotson. Dotson with pretty good size himself, 6'2", junior, 180-pounder. Pass fell short of him. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 8 for the Raiders. Loveland defense includes, of course, Dave McLuhan, who goes both ways. Also out there for the Indians will be Sean Epple on the line, Dean Warren, Mike Gorham you'll look for a lot. Eli Donato is going to roll out to his left side. Got a blocker out in front of him and some time. Coleman open downfield. Finally, McLuhan gets back to pass is complete. Inside the 25-yard line, down to the 23, wide open on the play. Number 95, Troy Cooper. Just simply nobody back. McLuhan finally started dropping back for the Indians, but much too late. The pass was somewhat underthrown, but Cooper able to come back for it. 1st and 10 for the Raiders of Ranum from the 23-yard line of Loveland. So the first big play of the ball game, and the Raiders take advantage of some missed coverage by the Indians. 1st and 10 from the 23. Man in motion near side. Handoff is going to go to the inside man. He's going to cut over the right side, get inside the 25-yard line, and inside the 20 down to the 19. Pick up about 4 in the play, 2nd down and 6. Ball carrier was a man we're going to see most of this afternoon, James Arena. Checking into the ball game, number 84, Vic Marquez, 5'11", junior. No score, first quarter action between Loveland and Ranum. Both teams coming up with pretty strong victories last weekend to get here. Of course, the winner going on to the state championship game. Handoff goes to the big man, Monterano, straight up the middle. He's going to go all the way, touchdown. And after a few short plays, the Ranum Raiders, using that potent ground game, jump out to an early 6-0 lead. Touchdown going to Brian Monterano. 19-yard touchdown run. And instantly, the Indians of Loveland find themselves in a situation they're not used to. Here we go once again. Good blocking out in front. It just ran right past a couple of Loveland offensive linemen. Point after coming up. Chad Ashton on to point after. It's on its way, but no good. Wide left. And he has been very successful on the season. 22 of 23 extra points. So just his 2nd miss of the season. Ranum leads in the ballgame by a score of 6-0. Loveland Indians are a team that have not been faced with the situation of being down too much this season at all. Let's see what Loveland can do to show how they can come back in the ballgame. 19-yard touchdown run. Indians trailing 6-0. Dave McLuhan, of course, will be back deep for Loveland, standing on his own 5-yard line. Teeing up the football, of course, is Chad Ashton. He also hit a 44-yard field goal this year, so should the game come down to what may be a field goal, favor may go to Ranum. McLuhan on his 5, awaiting the kickoff. Loveland trailing 6-0. 9:55 remaining first quarter. Squibbler, and McLuhan's going to let it go out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Get another opportunity. As we mentioned in last week's ball game, Loveland had no problem with Montrose, defeating them 34-6. Ranum rather easily over Fort Morgan by a score of 35-21. Now the big thing in the Fort Morgan game was the fact that Ranum racked up 365 yards rushing. So as we mentioned, a team that definitely can do a lot of damage on the ground, and Loveland has experienced that already with the 19-yard touchdown run by Monterano. McLuhan again will get an opportunity. This time moves up to about a 7-yard line. Ashton approaches the football, line shot, and it's going to go back to McLuhan. He's got it at his 10-yard line, out to the 15, 20, couple of blockers out in front of him. McLuhan finally brought down after he gets out over the 25 to about the 28. So Loveland will take over from their own 28-yard line, trailing by a score of 6-0. Loveland, of course, will be working out of the wishbone backfield. Quarterback, as we always see, will be number 7, Travis Brown, also in there in the backfield. Dave McLuhan, Wayne Potter, and number 27, Jim Rodriguez. Somebody up men for the Loveland Indians will be Cliff Dunlap, center Brad Clausen. Wishbone formation. Indians on for their first offensive set of the game. Rodriguez goes in motion far side. And Brown's going to hand it off to McLuhan. Stetter steps on the inside, gets out over the 30-yard line to about the 31. Gain of a couple. That's about it for Dave. Brings up 2nd and 8 for the Indians. Defensively on the tackle was number 64, Bill Hudek. 2nd and 8 for the Indians. Of course, the winner of this game would go on to play the winner of the Grand Junction Skyline game. Junction undefeated also on the season at 11-0, Skyline 11-1. Brown pitch back, goes to McLuhan. On the right side, uses the stiff arm, gets around the end, turns the corner, gets out over the 35 and forced out at the 38-yard line. Going to be about a yard short of a first down. McLuhan doing all the carrying so far in the ballgame, as we pretty much expected. He'll be getting a bulk share of the work today. Indians will be faced with just about 3rd and 2, call it. McLuhan a couple of carries for 8 yards on the afternoon. 3rd down and 2. Indians need to get out just short of the 40-yard line for the first down. This time to pitch back to the near side. McLuhan's got running room. Blocker out in front of him. Turns it upfield. Gets it over to 50. Couple of men to beat if he can do it. McLuhan, 2 men to beat. He's not going to do it. Forced out of bounds. Finally at about the 20-yard line. So Dave McLuhan again on the big play. Picks up more than enough for the first down and puts the Indians in great scoring position inside the 20-yard line. Officials will spot it right about at the 19. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Chances to look at it once again out of the wishbone backfield. This time the pitch came to the near side. McLuhan had a couple of blockers out in front of him. Used them perfectly, cut up field. After that, it was a foot race. Just one man to beat, couldn't quite do it. But the Indians with the first down. Brown's going to hand off to Rodriguez. He stutter steps his way inside, takes a solid hit, gets down to the 15-yard line. On the tackle, Rich Apple for the Ranum Raiders. Gain of just about 4 on the play, brings up 2nd down, and call it a long 6. So Dave McLuhan, pretty much the player that the Indians will be looking forward to keep him in the ballgame as much as possible. Breaks a big one, puts the Indians in good position with 8 minutes remaining first quarter, trailing 6-0. Handoff on the sweep to the right side to Rodriguez. Stumbles and brought down from behind after maybe gaining a yard just inside the 15-yard line. Rodriguez just couldn't keep his balance, and he was brought down from behind. Fisher's spot him maybe about a half-yard gain. That's about it. Still 3rd down and nearly 7 for the first. A couple of field goal kickers on both teams who can do the job. Of course, Garrett Elwood for the Indians, also Chad Ashton for the Ranum Raiders, although he did miss the point after. 6-0, Ranum on top. Brown is going to pitch back to McLuhan. He's got one blocker out in front of him. If he can turn the corner, can't do it. Nice tackle brought down from behind by Sean McCabe, and the Indians will be forced to decide what to do on 4th down. 4th and nearly 5 for the first. Really not much to decide as far as Coach John Poovey is concerned. They're going to go for it. Travis Brown's got his instructions. Indians looking to tie and possibly take the lead on a point after. First of all, they need the first down. 4th down, 5 for the first. Wishbone backfield, wide receiver far side. Brown back to pass. He's going to give it to McLuhan. Halfback option. Nomenson wide open in the end zone. Incomplete, right in his hands. And Rich Nomenson, usually sure-handed, simply dropped the football, and he did the best thing possible. Just get up and hopefully he can shake it off. David McLuhan on the halfback option. Had the time, perfect pass. Nomenson was there in the end zone, but incomplete. So the Ranum Raiders come away unscathed because of Nomenson's inability to just hold on to the pass, and we don't want to make any excuses. Nobody needs him, but it's cold outside. First down for the Raiders. 6 minutes, 37 seconds remaining first quarter. They lead 6-0. And it looks like somebody jumped, but no flags down into play. Dave Dotson takes it and is forced out of bounds by a couple of players on the tackle. Kevin Symington, one of them. Gain of a couple on the play. They'll give him 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. So the Loveland Indians a golden opportunity to get on the scoreboard. Halfback option for McLuhan to Nomenson. Goes incomplete. Ranum still on top by 6. Grand Junction at Skyline in this afternoon's other semifinal action. Handoff on the end around. He is going to go to the inside man, number 42, Brian Monterano. And he's going to have enough for the first down over the 25-yard line. Officials will spot it near the 26, 1st and 10 Ranum. Second first down of the ball game. Between James Herrera and Brian Monterano, they've combined for nearly 2,000 yards on the ground this season. Shows the kind of potent rushing game that Ranum has. This time it goes to Herrera. Number 32 turns it inside, spins away from a couple of tacklers, gets out over the 30-yard line, down to the 32. Good pickup on first down for the Ranum Raiders. Gain of about 7 brings up second down and 3. Defensively for the Loveland Indians, Buddy Herrera, one of the big men you'll look for. Great linebacking core, Brian Goldgard, also Ryan Holt. Mike Gorham always plays big defensively for the Indians. And McLuhan, the safety. He got burned on the one big pass play from Ranum. Man in motion this time. Quarterback is going to keep it. Rolling out, got a man open, but the pass is thrown short. Complete, though. Again, able to come back for it is number 95, Troy Cooper. Defensively, Ryan Holt back there. Also Symington, Dave McLuhan was to the other side of the field. And the Ranum Raiders, who have not passed a great deal this season, using it to their great advantage so far. Here we go. The man is open. The pass was a little bit underthrown, but he's able to come back for it. And Symington with a tackle. The ball at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Deilanato at quarterback. Handoff is going to go nowhere. Monterano, the ball carrier. So it'll be second down and still 10 for the Raiders. Big plays, that's what's been happening so far this afternoon. Dave McLuhan broke a big run for the Indians. Loveland unable to turn it into any points. A couple of big passes by the Ranum Raiders. And then the 19-yard touchdown run by Monterano. 6-0, Ranum on top. And again, a big pass play has set him up at the 30 of Loveland. 2nd and 10. Cold afternoon in Colorado. This time the inside handoff is going to go to number 10. That's Dave Dotson. He's going to pick up nearly 5 yards on the play. Leaves Ranum with a 3rd down and 5. Just about 3rd and 6 for the first. Despite the cold and snow we've had lately, the field is really in excellent condition. A little bit hard, but you'd expect that with the cold temperatures we've had lately. Wide receiver near side, Vic Marquez, number 84. Play action, rolling out to his right side, man trailing him. Turns it upfield, but Deilanato is not going to have enough. Gorham defensively for the Indians. It'll be 4th down and about 2 for Ranum. 4th and 1. Official spots it at about the 21-yard line. And it looks like Ranum's going to call a timeout. 3 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Loveland trailing in the ballgame by a score of 6-0, and Ranum on the move. You can understand how they roll up so much yardage this season. A couple of excellent running backs. Deilanato also doing a good job at quarterback for the Raiders. On the season for a total, Ranum had 3,805 yards. Of that, 3,024 of them were on the ground. So as you can see, they definitely like to keep it on the ground. Also, one point of interest is the fact that Ranum last season was a school in the 4A, but this season dropped down to 3A. As we mentioned, the winner of this game will go on to play Grand Junction or Skyline, whoever happens to win that ball game. And of course, field position will be decided at the time that we find out the winners. 6-0, Ranum Raiders leading Loveland. For the most part, there's been a couple of big plays that have gotten the scores for Ranum and put Loveland in field position, but the Indians unable to capitalize on it. 4th down and 1. Handoff, easily Herrera, straight up the middle. He's got an opening. He's in. Touchdown. James Herrera puts the Ranum Raiders up by a score of 12-0. One after coming up, 21-yard touchdown run for the little power back of Ranum. Chance to see it once again here. Straight handoff right up the middle. Got some good blocking. Bounced off a couple of tacklers and straight into the end zone. James Herrera with a touchdown for Ranum. Makes it 12-0. Raiders may go for the 2-point conversion. And it looks like the Raiders once again have called a timeout, this time to decide whether to go for the 2 or the 1. Looks like pretty much no decision. They are going to go for the 2 points. Just a matter of what play they decide to run. So the Loveland Indians facing themselves in a situation they just have not seen this season, trailing early by a score of 12-0.
Actually, I think it's a shovel of dirt.
Ranum preparing for the 2-point conversion. Coming into the ball game is number 84, Vic Marquez, one of the wide receivers, 5'11" junior, 138-pounder. Ranum not a big team, but tell you what, the players they got, they sure used to their advantage in an excellent way. Wing T formation, what they run out of. DiLeonardo, quarterback, in the ball game. Moderano in the backfield. DiLeonardo trying to roll out. He's not going to get it. Sacked down. Buddy Herrera, excuse me. Is that Herrera? It is, number 45, defensively for the Indians. So the 2-point conversion goes no good. 12-0. Ranum on top, though, in the first quarter. 3 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the quarter. And the Indians will once again try to get Dave McClune the ball. Chad Ashton, the kicker for the Ranum Raiders. Tees it up at about the 40-yard line. Good turnout for the Loveland Indians as far as their fan support. Just about have the far bleachers filled up. McClune standing on his 5-yard line. Ashton hits it straight down the middle of the field. Fielded by one of the upmen. He fumbles it. McClune picks it up at the 10-yard line to the 15. Waller blocked out in front of him and tries the right side. He broke one tackle out to over the 30-yard line to the 40. One man to beat. That's Ashton. If he can do it, he can't do it. Ashton with a touchdown-saving tackle. But again, McClune, the big run all the way down to the 25-yard line. And the Indians will once again have an opportunity to put some points on the scoreboard on the excellent run back by Dave McClune. Have an opportunity to look at it once again. McClune with a wall of blockers out in front of him. Broke one tackle right there. Just used a sideline. Lone man to beat was Ashton, the kicker, and just tripped him up. Wishbone formation. Inside the 20. Handoff is going to go to Wayne Potter. Potter will get it down to, let's correct myself, the original line of scrimmages had about the 25-yard line. Potter gets it down to the 22. Gain of 3 brings up a 2nd down and 7. Travis Braun at quarterback for the Indians. Backfield of Wayne Potter. Also Dave McClune and Jim Rodriguez. Potter, the up man in the formation, wide receiver near side of the field, number 4, Steve Hicks. Brown is going to hand it off to Potter. He tries the left side, stumbles his way forward, gets inside the 20-yard line to about the 19, gain of 3. It'll leave Loveland with a 3rd down and 4. One advantage to the afternoon, despite the fact of the cold temperatures and a little bit of a wind condition, is the fact that the sun is out, making things, I can't say comfortable, but at least better than they could be. 3rd down and 4 for Loveland. Brown at quarterback. McClune comes in motion near side. And flag is going to go flying. Ranum jumped early. It'll be 5 yards against the Raiders. First down for Loveland. First penalty of the ball game, and it goes against the Ranum Raiders. Loveland will have the ball just inside the 15-yard line. Brown brings him up to the line of scrimmage again. Wide receiver near side is Steve Hicks. Wishbone backfield led by Wayne Potter. Rodriguez comes in motion once again. Long count by Brown. Handoff goes to McLuhan. Tries the left side. Wants to turn the corner if he can. He does so. Finally brought down from behind. Defensively is Mark Joslin for the Ranum Raiders. McLuhan picks up 5 on the play. Leaves the Indians with 2nd and 5. Dave McLuhan, not a spectacular runner, but I'll tell you one thing, with his moves and just the way he uses his body to get around players, excellent college prospect, especially if he can afford to put on a few pounds. Loveland with a 2nd and 5, trailing 12-0, 1:30 remaining first quarter. Brown at quarterback. Again, Rodriguez in motion. Long count. Pop pass over the middle, complete, touchdown, Loveland Indians, receiving end number 88, Kevin Howard. And before the game started, we noticed Travis Brown working on that play quite a bit with Kevin Howard. This time it works to their advantage. Chance to look at it once again. Just a quick popper right over the middle. Howard into the end zone, and Loveland on the scoreboard for 6. Garrett Elwood on to try the point after. 12-6, Ranum still in the lead. Placement down, Elwood. Kick is on its way. Looks good, it is. So Loveland gets on the scoreboard. They trail by a score of 12-7. And when you look back at the golden opportunity they missed earlier, Dave McLuhan on the halfback option, going to Rich Nomenson. Indians could be in the lead, but could-be's don't matter. They trail by a score of 12-7. Touchdown pass from quarterback Travis Brown to Kevin Howard. I want to take a moment to thank once again D.E. Burns Construction, our sponsor for this playoff game. So the Indians get on the scoreboard, mixing up again. Dave McLuhan and the passing of Travis Brown. Sean Epple will be kicking it off for the Loveland Indians. Purina, as well as number 84, Vic Marquez, back to receive the kick. It's a short one, fielded by one of the up men at about the 30-yard line. Gets over the 35 and finally brought down near the 37-yard line. So once again, the Raiders will start off in pretty good field position, leading in the ball game by a score of 12-7. $1:15 and counting remaining first quarter. Ranum Raiders leading in the ball game by a score of 12-7. Loveland's lone score just coming seconds ago. Touchdown pass from Brown to Howard. Inside handoff is going to go to Monterano. Might gain a yard on the play. That's going to be about it, out to the 39-yard line. Ranum now facing a 2nd down and 9. Loveland defensive line holding strong that time, but I'll tell you one thing, the way the Ranum Raiders have been running the football, by far the toughest test of the season for Loveland. Sunny afternoon from District 50 Stadium. Cold but sunny. Leonardo brings him up to the line of scrimmage. This time the pitch back goes to Monterano. Intercepted right in midair by Mike Gorham. He's going to go in for the touchdown. The play just took too long. Leonardo tried to pitch it back to Monterano, and just out of midair, Mike Gorham comes in, takes it out of midair for the touchdown, and the Loveland Indians quickly find themselves in the lead, 13-12. Opportunity to look at it once again. Pitchback was just intercepted. It floated right into the hands of Mike Gorham. He takes it all the way for the touchdown. No chance for anybody from Ranum to get him. Garrett Elwood on to try the point after. Good snap, placement. Kick is on its way. It looks wide right. No good. So Loveland leads by only one, 13-12. Mike Gorham comes up with a big play defensively. Let's take a look at it once again. Leonardo, the quarterback, just kind of floated it in, and Gorham was right there to take it out of midair. No chance for anybody from Ranum to stop him. Indians find themselves in the lead for the first time in the ball game. And again, as has been their case all season long, big plays have done it. Just 16 seconds remaining first quarter. Ranum might find themselves a big shock by the turn of events. Garrett Elwood is now on to do the kicking. Irena back deep. Also joining him, Marquez. Elwood hits it. It's going to go to Marquez. No, it's fielded by one of the upmen, number 80, Ed Welch. He goes straight over the middle, out to about the 25-yard line. So Ranum, with what you might say is their poorest field position of the afternoon. Just 13 seconds showing on the clock here in the first quarter. And after a big defensive play by Mike Gorham, Indians lead in the ball game 13-12. Leonardo comes into the ball game at quarterback for Ranum. That's it. That is the end of the first quarter. Loveland Indians using some big plays, leading the ball game by a score of 13-12. Take a short break and come back with second quarter action right after this. Back to District 50 Stadium. Loveland Indians leading as we start second quarter action. Handoff is going to go to Hurena. He's got blockers out in front of him, but not going to get too far defensively. Gogart there for the Indians. Also Gorham on the tackle. Van Such also in there to help. Pickup of just a couple on the play. Brings up second down and 8 for Ranum. Checking into the ball game, Vic Marquez for the Ranum Raiders. I mentioned that Ranum does the majority of their offense off the ground, picked up just a little over 700 yards through the air this season. Last week against Fort Morgan, rushed for a big 365 yards. This time, Leonardo rolling out to his right side, looking for a man deep. Nobody back there. Only buddy there was Dave McClune for the Indians, and luckily for Ranum, he overthrew it. Leonardo has shown that he can throw the ball, but that time just simply overthrown. Brings up third down and 8 for the Raiders. Marquez coming back into the ball game with the play from head coach Tom Hinton. Indians defense may finally be able to get into the ball game a little bit. Offense has picked them up, and of course the play by Mike Gorham helping a great deal. Leonardo rolls out to his right side. He's got time and a lot of receivers open. Complete for the first down. Dotson on the receiving end. Herrera finally brings him down. Dave Dotson on the receiving end. Herrera with the tackle for the Indians. The ball out over the 40 to the 42-yard line. First and 10. So obviously, when the Ranum Raiders need to go to the air, they can do it, as we see right here. Pass complete, perfectly thrown as well. Missed tackle by the Indians before Herrera comes to make the tackle. First and 10 from the 42-yard line. Dotson in motion. Inside handoff's going to Herrera. Gets out over the 45-yard line to about the 46. Gain of, I'd call it about 5. Leave the Raiders with second down and 5. Just about a minute and a half into the second quarter. Loveland leads by a score of 13-12. Usual reliable Chad Ashton missed the first point after for Ranum. They went for the 2-point conversion. That was unsuccessful as well. Indians missed 1 point after themselves on the second touchdown. Irena goes in motion. Handoff goes to the inside line. Materano, he's going to have enough for the first down, and again the ground game working for the Ranum Raiders. You can see what a day it is here. Clear blue skies, but it is very windy outside and cold. Field luckily is very well cleared, and although hard, it's for the most part in good condition. First and 10 for the Raiders. Ball at the 47-yard line of Loveland. 9:45 and counting. Handoff goes to Hurena. Just busts his way over and gets a gain of about 5 yards. Van Such on the tackle for the Loveland Indians. Second down and a long 4. Marquez comes in with a play for the Ranum Raiders. The other game going on this afternoon, Grand Junction undefeated at 11-0 against Skyline. That game taking place in Longmont. Skyline 11-1 on the season. Hurena comes in motion. The handoff is going to go to the inside man. Gain of about 4 on the play. Monterano carrying the ball. Going to be short of the first down by about a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 1. So despite the fact that the Indians have jumped out to a 13-12 lead after trailing 12-0, Ranum still able to move the ball pretty much at will on the ground. 3rd down and a long 1. DiLeonardo up to the line of scrimmage, hands off to Hurena. He's not going to make it. First man to reach him was Buddy Herrera. Holt also there defensively. Hurena may lose just about a yard on the play. It'll bring up 4th down and just about 2. Buddy Herrera, first man to meet him. Herrera, the leader in tackles for the Loveland Indians defense. 4th down and 2. This time, handoff goes to Hurena once again. He spins away. May have enough for the first down with his initial forward progress. He should have picked up the first down. Depends on the spot of the football. And the officials are going to have to bring out the change, the measure. Where it looks to be setting down, you may think just a bit short. It looked like his forward progress had given him enough. Going to be short. Going to be short by just the smallest amount possible. So the Loveland Indians will take over at their own 37-yard line. Not quite sure if the officials gave him the correct spot because it looked like had enough to pick up the first down. As it is, Loveland takes over. 7 minutes, 55 seconds and counting remaining first half. Indians lead by a score of 13-12. Travis Brown at quarterback brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Wishbone backfield. Wayne Potter, McLuhan, and Jim Rodriguez. Handoff goes to Potter. First man through. Busted straight up the middle. He's going to pick up some good yardage on the first down. Gain of 7. Bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Indians. So Wayne Potter with the quick handoff straight up the middle. Gained 7. Again, you got to consider the fact that Ranum moving the ball on the ground so well simply could not do it in the last couple of downs. Indians defense came to life to stop him. See if it gives the Indians a lift. 2nd down and 3 for Loveland. Just shy of the 45-yard line. Brown sets his players again, of course, the wishbone backfield. Handoff is going to go to McLuhan with blockers out in front of him. Tries to turn the corner. Can't do it. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. First man to meet him, number 44, Rich Apple defensively for the Ranum Raiders. McLuhan's going to lose about 3 on the play. Back to the 41-yard line. Loveland now with a 3rd and 6. So McLuhan trying to turn the corner, simply couldn't do it. Had some blockers out in front of him, but good pursuit and penetration by Ranum. Indians with a 3rd and a long 6. Brown again brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers far side. Steve Hicks. Brown back to pass, tries to unload it, can't do it, fumbles it, but luckily for the Loveland Indians, now they lose it. Ranum Raiders come up with it, coming up with the football, number 36, Jim Vella. It looked like for a minute Loveland might recover it. Right there was Dan Edblad. He just simply couldn't recover the football. We'll have a chance to look at it once more. Brown, play action, wanted to roll back to pass. Great pursuit by Ranum. And the man who had the pursuit was the man who came up with the football, number 36, Jim Villa. So the Raiders in excellent field position at the Loveland 26-yard line. On a rollout to the right side, Holt chasing Leonardo. It's going to force him out of bounds. Van Such forces him out of bounds. Officials will mark it right at the 25-yard line. Gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8 for the Ranum Raiders. 5 minutes, 43 seconds remaining first half. Loveland leads 13-12. Neither team really taking charge. Both teams coming up with some good plays, but then defenses have made some big plays as well to turn the ball over. Raiders come up to the line of scrimmage. Leonardo at quarterback is going to hand it off, and the inside handoff. Great play by Ranum. Handoff went to number 10, Dave Dotson. Curana took a solid hit in the backfield from Gogart, but he gets up. None the worse for wear, and the ball marked down about 5 yards short. It'll be 3rd down and just about 5 for the Raiders. Ball at the 21-yard line. Clock continues to run. Indian defense playing strong. See if they can hold them here. Leonardo rolling out. Van Such is going to hit him. Ball loose, still squirting. Loveland recovers it. Face mask is definitely going to go against the Ranum Raiders, recovering the football. Brian Zavodny, but the big play was by Chris Van Such. First down for the Indians, and it looks like.
Take a look at it again.
Chance to look at it once again. Big play for Loveland. Van Such coming in, you see his pursuit and simply blindsided. Leonardo had no idea. There's the face mask right there. Ball will be moved all the way out to the 49-yard line. So Loveland, with 4 minutes 56 seconds remaining in the first half and leading 13-12, have great field position. On the recovery by Brian Zavodny. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Brown, quarterback, is going to hand it off to Potter. He goes over the left side. Good job, Wayne Potter doing a good job this afternoon. He's going to gain nearly 5 on the play. Gain of 5, it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Indians. Ball at the 46 of Ranum. And for the most part, the plays have come on the ground, although Ranum has had a couple of big plays through the air as well. Second down and 5, the ball at the 46-yard line. Wishbone backfield. Wide receiver far side is Bob Bellamy. Handoff is going to go to Potter again. He's got it opening and enough for the first down. Holds the ball, gets inside the 40 to the 39. So the Indians pick up another first down. Using a lot of inside running from Wayne Potter. If Ranum's going to start keying on Dave McLuhan, as Coach John Poovies told us several times, they'll go with someone else, and this afternoon it's been Wayne Potter. 3:45 remaining first half. Indians lead 13-12. Bellamy, wide receiver near side. Kevin Howard also in the ball game for the Indians. Pitch back is going to go to McLuhan. He's got one blocker out in front of him. If he can turn the corner, he does so, but he'll just pick up a couple of yards before being forced out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9. Travis Brown gets his signals from the sideline. Indians, for the most part, staying on the ground. Couple of passes to the air, and that's been about it. McLuhan comes in motion near side slowly. Brown with a long count. This time he's going to pitch back to McLuhan on the end around. Really nobody out in front of him. McLuhan going to have to do it himself. Turns it upfield and hit from behind. Actually drove forward. He may gain 2. That's about it. Down to the 36-yard line. Ranum really was not fooled too much at all. McLuhan, deep in his own backfield, had to try to turn it around, had no blockers. It was simply a play where hopefully everyone would be fooled on Ranum, and they weren't. Gain of a couple, 3rd down and a long 6 for Loveland. Again, Bellamy, wide receiver, near side. McLuhan once more in motion. Flags down, and it looks like Loveland may have jumped early. Pass falls incomplete. Intended receiver Jim Rodriguez, but it's going to be motion against the Loveland Indians. You would imagine that they would decline it, giving Loveland a 4th down and 6. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, first half. Penalty for motion against Loveland declined by Ranum. Brings up 4th down and 6. Cold afternoon from District 50 Stadium in Westminster, Colorado. At least we have the sun out. Wind also quite strong. Blowing crossways against the field, so neither team really has much of an advantage. And McLuhan back to punt, but he's not going to do it. He's going to try to pass. Nomenson downfield, incomplete. The snap to Dave McLuhan, who, of course, is not the normal punter. Snap was bad to his right side. He just did a good job hauling it in. Nomenson was intended receiver, but the ball was just overthrown, so Ranum takes over on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line, and plenty of time left on the clock, 2:35. As we mentioned in the other game, Grand Junction going against Skyline. Game also going on right at this time. Tigers of Grand Junction, just an awesome team, scoring or averaging 44 points a ball game. Right here, the handoff goes to the first man through. Right up the middle is going to be Monorano. He's going to be close to the first down, but about 1.5 yards short. Ball is going to be spotted at about the 44-yard line. 2nd down and a long 1. Indians defense keeping them in the ballgame as they lead 13-12. But again, the running attack of Ranum, the strongest by far that the Indians have faced this season. Yolanda brings him up to the line of scrimmage this time. On the back to the pass, they're looking for a man open. Dotson downfield. McLuhan back with him. Incomplete. Dave McLuhan there defensively for the Indians. And if the play could have developed quicker, Ranum had something going there. Dave Dotson was the intended receiver. He was wide open for a minute, but free safety Dave McLuhan got back to knock the ball down. Good play to call on 2nd down, too. You got 3rd down now and a little less than 2 yards. From your own 44-yard line. Checking into the ball game, Rex Beach, senior for Ranum. Incomplete pass, stops the clock with 1:51 remaining. First half. Leonardo hands it off to Hirena. He got the left side and plenty for the first down. He's going to get inside the 45. Finally knocked down at the 42-yard line. So Ranum picks up a big first down. Key thing to remember is they only have 1 timeout remaining in the first half, and the clock continues to run. And again, a thing to remember is their place kicker, Chad Ashton. 22 of 24 extra points on the season, and he's also hit one from 44 yards for a field goal this year. And off, no end around this time. Leonardo is going to back the pass. He's got a man open downfield. Complete once again. Forced out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. And I don't know who has a job of covering Troy Cooper, but whoever it is, they're not doing it. Kevin Symington was back there. Finally, Dave McLuhan was the one who forced him out of bounds, and the officials will mark him out at about the 2-yard line. Troy Cooper having an all-American day, doing everything right. And of course, the pass is there from Leonardo. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Handoff is going to go to big man. He's got a touchdown, Ranum Raiders. Brian Monterano for the touchdown from 2 yards out. And Ranum finds himself back in the lead once again, 18-13. 2-yard touchdown run by Monterano. Ranum going to go for the 2-point conversion. They're up by 5 now. Dotson goes in motion. Handoff to Hurena. Not going to go anywhere. 2-point conversion, no good. So Loveland now trails in the ballgame to Ranum by a score of 18-13. Minute 10 seconds remaining. Good return by Dave McLuhan. And Loveland can find himself operating for a few more points themselves. Good ball game this afternoon in the semifinal matchup between the 11-0 Loveland Indians and Ranum at 10-1. McLuhan once again, of course, will be deep for Loveland. Ashton will be doing the kicking honors. Dave McLuhan, as far as big plays, has been the biggest playman that Loveland has had this season. See if he can do it once again for the Indians, standing on his own 10-yard line. 1:10 remaining, so really plenty of time for Loveland to do whatever they need to get some points on the scoreboard. Garrett Elwood himself, not a bad field goal kicker. Ashton's going to hit it short, not even give McLuhan a chance to field it. Straight up the middle, feeling the ball, Dan Edblad. He's going to get out to about the 37-yard line. So McLuhan not even an opportunity to get his hands on the football. Loveland will take over there. Clock continues to run. 1 minute remaining. Indians with all of their timeouts remaining. Brown brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Play action. Needs to get rid of it. He does. Almost intercepted defensively there for the Ranum Raiders. Number 21, Doug Hedba. And intended receiver was Dave McLuhan. Stops the clock with 46 seconds remaining. 2nd down and 10 for Loveland. All on their own 37-yard line. .46 seconds remaining before the half. Loveland now trailing seesaw battle 18-13. Brown at quarterback. Wayne Potter, Rodriguez, and McLuhan in the backfield. Play action. Not too much time. Finally gets rid of it. Nomenson, a great reception over the midfield stripe, right down at the 49-yard line. Now the Indians have some timeouts if they want to use them. And they do. Travis Brown takes Loveland's first time out of the ballgame. Great reception by Rich Nomenson from Travis Brown. Indians definitely would like to get another touchdown going to halftime leading. As I mentioned, the game has just been a seesaw battle back and forth. Ranum jumped up to a 12-0 lead. Point after on the first touchdown, no good. 2-point conversion, also no good. Loveland then scored touchdown themselves. Point after was good, 12-7. Indians then, on a great play by Mike Gorham, who just broke through the line, intercepted just a pitch back from the quarterback for Ranum. Took it all the way for the touchdown, 13-12, and then Ranum just scored again. That's where we stand, 18-13. Raiders went for a 2-point conversion once again, and that also failed. Travis Brown has his instructions from head coach John Poovey. 41 seconds remaining, the ball at the 49-yard line of Ranum. Indians still have 2 timeouts remaining. And Garrett Elwood on the sideline, the guy who can hit a field goal pretty good himself. McLuhan comes in motion. Turns it upfield too early. It's going to go against Loveland Indians. They're going to complete the play. That way at least Ranum will be forced to take the penalty. Late hit out of bounds, but I don't think it was intentional against Dave McLuhan. So Ranum will take the penalty. McLuhan just turned it upfield too soon. Ball will go back to the 46-yard line of Loveland. Worst part about it, besides the fact that you lose 5 yards on the play, is that it also lost 8 seconds off of the clock. 33 seconds remaining. 5-yard penalty against the Indians back to the 46-yard line. Travis Brown, when he's been back to pass this afternoon, really hasn't had all that much time. Not a great deal of protection. Going to need it now. Rodriguez in motion, far side of the field. Brown, long count. Play action pass, sets up. He wants Rodriguez. Incomplete, it could be close to a flag. It is. Pass interference going against Ranum. It's going to be called against Sean McCabe. 27 seconds remaining first half. We'll have a chance to see it once again. Rodriguez in motion. Brown was going for him all the way. Close, but it looks like maybe the defender got there just a bit before the ball. It goes against Sean McCabe, so it's 1st and 10 for the Indians. Ball will be spotted inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. And you can obviously tell Ranum fans don't like the call too much. 27 seconds remaining. First half, Loveland trailing by a score of 18-13. Brown at quarterback. Confusion in the backfield, and Brown tries to get away from one man. He does so. Nomenson open. The ball is just thrown out of bounds. And getting up slowly for Ranum is Jim Vela. Potter just collided with Brown, his quarterback. Pass goes incomplete, 2nd down and 10 from the 39. 22 seconds remaining. First half. Indians would love to put a couple of more points on the scoreboard, either at least a field goal, if not the touchdown. Brown brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Nomenson, receiver near side. Usual backfield, play action. Over the middle, way overthrown, intended receiver. Kevin Howard, and Brown just rushed the pass. Didn't have a lot of time once again. 3rd down and 10 for the Indians. 17 seconds remaining first half. Brown looking to the sidelines for his instructions. Finally looks like he may have them. Still getting them. Ranum defense holding strong. They're leading 18-13. Kevin Howard talking with Brown right now, trying to get the instructions. And Brown waves him over to the other side. Too much time against Loveland Indians. Between Brown taking the signals from the sideline and the confusion between Howard and Brown, just way too much time. The ball forced back 5 yards to the 44-yard line. It's now 3rd down and 15. And Ranum is going to use their last timeout. Travis Brown heading over to talk to Coach John Pooley. Loveland with still time on the clock to do something. 17 seconds, going to need to pick up the first down here. They have 2 timeouts remaining themselves. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line of Ranum. Mixing up really their plays well, using big plays as far as their passing goes. Nothing too short. Whenever there's been a pass completed, for the most part, it's been a big play. And then, of course, their ground game. Brown coming back into the ball game. 3rd and 15 for Loveland. On the afternoon, Travis Brown not having a great day passing, hasn't had the protection either as well.
What's Don doing down there, delivering pizza?
Nomenson, wide receiver left side. Tight formation. Brown rolls on. McLuhan on the halfback option. Got Jim Rodriguez open. Complete for the first down. The official marks him out of bounds, which will stop the clock at the 26-yard line. So the Indians on the halfback option, Dave McLuhan to Rodriguez, pick up the first down, keep their drive alive. Down to 10 seconds remaining. Now, if they're going to have any hopes of a field goal, they are going to need to get a little deeper to get in Garrett Elwood's range. Opportunity for a couple of plays. Wide receiver near side. Brown up to the line of scrimmage. This time rolls to his right, pitches back to McLuhan again. They're going to look for the halfback option. Man open is Rodriguez, complete. Once again, great diving reception by Jim Rodriguez. 4 seconds remaining. The ball is marked down at the 13. Coach Poovey on the sideline, Garrett Elwood not far from him. And the Indians very wisely going to take a timeout. 4 seconds remaining. So Dave McLuhan, for the most part here, doing the passing on a halfback option. That time Jim Rodriguez, a good diving reception. Ball is at the 13-yard line. Ranum leads in the game 18-13. 4 seconds remaining. I'll tell you one thing, Tom Hinton and John Poovey know they got their teams in a ball game this afternoon. Brown checks back into the huddle with the play from head coach John Poovey. 4 seconds remaining. Forget the field goal. They're going for it all. Brown brings him up to line of scrimmage. Nomenson, wide receiver, far side, wishbone backfield. Brown back to pass. Rush is put on. He's going for Nomenson. Touchdown, Loveland. Travis Brown, an over-the-shoulder pass. Beautiful to Rich Nomenson for the touchdown. 13 yards, and Loveland back out on top. Chance to look at it once more. Brown back to pass. Nomenson beat his defender over the shoulder. Good reception, and the pass was right there. Garrett Elwood will be on to try the point after. And it's going to be a fake. They got men open in the end zone. McLuhan there. 2-point conversion is good. And it's a big play because it put Loveland up 21-18.